Good morning, students. How are you all? I am A. Bhagya, a lecturer of Computer Science Department. In this semester, I'll teach paper 6, Computer Science paper 6. Subject name is Operating System 2. Third BSc, all the branches. Means third BSc students, all branches, physics, electronics and statistics. Okay. So in this semester, here you have two computer science subjects. One CS5 and CS6. CS6 is operating system and CS5 is Java. The subject is done by Usha Madam and this I will teach. Okay. So in this paper, how many units we have? In this paper we have 3 units. Okay. Our paper number is 6. In this we have 3 units. First unit, Introduction. Introduction to operating system. Second unit, CPU scheduling. Third unit, memory management. Okay. So how many units we have? 3 units. First unit is Introduction to Operating System, process and everything, processing, scheduling, everything you will get inside the first unit. The second unit you will get CPU scheduling, scheduling algorithms you will get. The third unit you have memory management, means how to store, how to load files, folders into a system. Now, today, in first class, I'll start the introduction part of our subject. First, what is our subject name? Operating system. And our paper number is 6. That is elected. So, operating system. What is an operating system? What is a operating system? First point. It is a system software. What it is? It is a system software. The second one, it is an interface. It is an interface between user and hardware. What it is? It is an interface between user and hardware. First, I'll explain what is the system software. System software. Here, actually, what is the software? Software is set of programs. Software is set of programs and which are already documented, which are already tested. Okay, how many types of softwares we have? 2 types of softwares we have. Okay, first one is application software and the second one is system software. System software. What is the application software? The software which is designed. The software which is designed to perform a specific task is called as an application software. What is application software? The software which is designed to perform a specific task is called as application software. So let me give examples. For this you can take MS Office, MS Word also you can take. MS Word for text applications and Excel. Excel for calculations, nothing but the numeric applications. Next, PowerPoint, presentations, and next MS Access is a database for storing purpose. Means here each and every application software is designed for a specific purpose. Okay, that will come under application software. So what is the application software? The software which is designed to perform a specific task is called as application software. Now come to system software. The system software is also software. But this software is designed to operate the system or to operate the hardware of the system. Okay, what is the system software? The software which is designed to operate the system will come under the system software. And this software also is used to control, manage, operate the system hardware like a CPU, input devices and output devices. So our subject will come under the system software. Understood all of you? Our subject will come under system software. What is the operating system? It is a system software. So if you want, I'll give you examples also. Android is there, iOS is there. That too will come under system software only. Windows also you can take. Now the next one is, it is an interface between user and hardware. What it is? It is an interface between user and hardware. What it is? It is an interface between user and hardware. Example. Let me give one example. One student is there, and student is entering into a classroom. Okay. So here student is a user and is entering into a classroom. Is nothing but the system. He want to use a classroom example. So how he will enter? Using a door example. So this door is called as an operating system. Okay, it is called as an interface. So interface is nothing but it allows the user to interact with the system. Okay, so here operating system is an interface between user and the system hardware. Okay, so what is the operating system? It is a interface between user and the hardware. It will provide the way to interact with the system to the user. So with the help of the operating system only, the user will enter into a system hardware. The user can use the system, and it will provide a platform. Means if the operating system, it will provide the platform for the application software. If the operating system is there inside the system only, the application softwares you can load into the system. If you want to use the MS Word, first there should be an operating system inside the system, because operating system provides an interface. It will provide the platform for other softwares to load into a system. If there is no operating system, so it is difficult for other softwares to load and execute their applications. Understood? Understood all of you? So here what is an operating system? It is an interface between user and the hardware. So if you want to use any hardware, first you need to interact with the operating system, and operating system will give the directions to the hardware. Here we have different hardware devices we have, like input and output devices, keyboard, mouse and all. Next CPU. The third one is the memory. Okay, these will come under hardware of the system. So this operating system provides interface, entry point to user to access the hardware. Okay, using operating system only, the user can access all the hardware devices. Understood all of you? So it is an interface between user and hardware of the system. Now we'll discuss about functions of operating system. So functions of operating system. First let me give the list of the functions. Functions of operating system. You can note it down, students. First one is resource allocation. The second one is process management. The third one is memory management. The fourth one is input and output device management. Next, storage management. Next, security. And you have number of functions. Again, put out file management, file manipulation, everything that will come under the number of functions we have. But here just I am listing out only the few important functions I am explaining here. You can note down this. These are very, very important, because when you come to a syllabus, each and every point will become a chapter. Okay. First one is a resource allocation. What is the first point? It is a resource allocation. Actually, example, we have a printer. Printer is a device. Okay, so in the system, in the office, we have only one printer. So 4 systems are connected to this printer. Okay. How many systems are connected to this? 4 systems are connected to this. So here this printer will become a resource. Okay, when any device is connected to internet and more than one process is requesting for that device, then that device will become a resource. So resource allocation. See, what is the resource allocation? I think you all understood resource. When any device is shared among different devices, different systems, then that is called as a resource. So resource allocation means, for example, in the previous example, how many systems were there? 4 systems. 4 systems requesting for one printer. So it is the job of the operating system to give that resource to that 4 system. It means it should give according to a time or a priority. It means it should provide the proper scheduling, proper queue for each and every device so that they can use that resource. So whenever any process is requesting for any device, any resource, it is a job of the operating system. It is a function of the operating system to allocate that resource to a system. If more than one process is requesting for a same resource, then it will maintain a queue or it will give the resource to that process based on the priority, based on the importance. So that will come under resource allocation. The second one is process management. Process management. So let me explain what is the process. Process means, example, you have created one file. This is the example A.C and this is your processor. Processor means who will execute your programs. And now when you have saved it as a file, when this file enter into a processor, this will become a process. Process means a program in execution. So when more than one process are running, more than one process is waiting for a CPU time, process time. Example, you are watching a movie at the same time or you are listening to music. At the same time you are working on MS Word. So at a time, how many processes you are running? 2 processes. When 2 processes are running in the same system, it is the job of the operating system to which process the CPU should be allocated. Means which process should be in a processor and which process should be in a waiting state. So again here also operating system will maintain the queue, process scheduling. Means based on the priority, based on the time, entered time, waiting queue. Based on that, a CPU will be allocated to a process. So this is the second one. Means when in the concurrent execution, means more than one process is running in the same system, it is the job of the operating system to allocate resource equally or is based on the priority or based on the timing when they have entered into a process queue. So based on that, the operating system should give processor to a process that will come under process management. The next one is the memory management. Memory management. So actually what is the memory here? What is the use of the memory? Whatever files you are creating, that files are saved inside the memory. Okay. Whatever files are there, that files are saved inside the memory. So that files stored on secondary storage device, on permanent basis. But example, this is your secondary storage device and this is your processor. Actually, before explaining the processor, I will explain different types of memories. Secondary storage device. How many types of memories we have? Secondary and primary. Already this I have explained in our first year. Primary memory. So both are. For this I will give you example. So in your mobile you have a RAM and SD card. SD card will come under secondary and RAM will come under primary. What is the difference between two? Here the secondary storage is used to store huge amount of data, large volume of data, but in a permanent basis. But primary memory currently whatever files you are using, recently what file you have opened, that is stored inside the primary memory, and any program if you want to execute, that program should come to a primary memory. Understood? Whatever program you want to execute, that program should be in a primary memory. Understood? Whenever you want to execute any program, first that program should be in a primary memory. So it is one of the function of the operating system. Whenever any program want to execute, then what it will do? It will swap the program from secondary memory to the primary memory, because programs are executed from the primary memory only. Understood, all of you? So whenever you save the files permanently, where that file will be saved? In the secondary storage. But when you want to execute, that file should swap from secondary memory to a primary memory. So it is one of the function of the operating system that whenever any program is executing, whenever any program want to execute, that program should transfer from secondary memory to a primary memory. So it will come under the memory management. Means when process want to execute, which process means more than one process want to execute, which process should be swap out and which process should be in a swap in. That is the job of the operating system. It is also a function of the operating system. The next one is input and output devices. Input and output device management. I think you all know what is the input and what is the output. Let me give examples. Keyboard, mouse will come under input, and printer, monitor will come under output. And CDs, DVDs also will come under input, and it is the same. So whenever any process is requesting for any input or any output, it is a function of the operating system to give the required input or output to a process which want to execute. So let me give an example. Here I have written one program for a sum of two numbers, and it is taking a value, b value from a system like this. Enter a value. Here it is a prompt from the system. Then here what the user has to give? A value. 10 are given. Next enter b value. 20. Then it will give the output as a 30. So while executing a process may require input or it may require any output device. Example, you are writing a CD. It requires some output devices. It wants a device. So in such cases, the operating system should give the required output to a process. So in this example, the user is executing a program, and program is meant for a sum of two numbers. Here system is giving a prompt, enter a value, means it is asking user to supply a value. Okay, next here this program is asking for a b value. This type of input in the system, if the process is required, it is a job of the operating system, it is a function of the operating system to give a prompt to the user to take a input value from a user. That will come under input and output device management. Means whenever any process requesting for any input or output while executing, so it is a job of the operating system, it is a function of the operating system to give a required input and output to a process. Now come to storage management. Storage management. Storage means what? Again you will get storing the information into a memory. Okay, so here in the system we have two types of memory. One is a secondary and the second one is a primary. So whenever you save your files permanently, that files are saved inside the secondary memory. So it is a function of the operating system that whenever any user want to save a file, the operating system should give the memory. Okay, and means whenever any user want to save the file, folder, subfolder, whatever he want to save, even if you want to save images also, it is a job of the operating system. It is a function of the operating system to give sufficient memory to a file. If the sufficient memory is not there, it should give the helper message that the memory is not sufficient, it is insufficient for saving a particular file. So it is also a function of the operating system. Now the next one is security. Security. See example. How will you give security to your mobile? By using a pattern or by using any password. Similarly, when you switch on your system, it will ask you to enter username and password. Why we are giving a username and password? To ensure our data should be protected. So when any user entered into a system, when any user switch on the system, it will ask the user to enter a valid username and password. So whatever username and password the user has entered, that is matched with already saved username and password. If that is matching, then the operating system will give the permission to the user to access the resources. Means only authorized users can use the properties. Means it is ensuring that the resources should be protected from unauthorized users. So that is why whenever any user log into a system, whenever user switch on the system, it will ask the user to identify himself, means authenticate himself. How he can authenticate? By using a username and password. So in that way, the operating system, it is the job of the operating system, it is the function of the operating system should provide security to the system, means security to the resources. Okay, these are the functions of the operating system. Again, let me give a brief overview of this. Functions means what functions the operating system is providing to a user. First one is a resource allocation. Whenever any process is requesting for any device, that device is called as a resource. It is a function of the operating system to give that resource to a process. If the resource is not available, it should inform the process that the process should go to a waiting state. If the resource is released by another process, that resource should be given to a correct process, requesting process. Next one is the process management. When any process want to execute, it is the job of the operating system. It should swap the process from secondary memory to a primary memory, because your execution starts from a primary memory only. The next one is the memory management. Memory management means whenever any file is saved, it is the job of the operating system to save that information inside the memory, and whenever any process is want to execute, it swap the process from secondary memory to the primary memory. Next, input and output device management. While executing, any process is requesting for any input or output device. It is a function of the operating system to give that device to a required process, requesting process. Storage management. When user saved any file, it is a job of the operating system to give the memory, to give the space in the memory to that process so that the content can be saved permanently. The next one is the security. Whenever any user enter into a system, it should ask the user to authenticate himself to ensure that resources of the system should be protected from unauthorized users. So today this is about complete this introduction part and functions of the operating system. So in the next class we will discuss next services or architecture of the system. Okay. Thank you, students. You can copy this, whatever functions I have given, list of the functions I have given, you can copy it. I'll give you 5 minutes time, you copy them.